Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Knock, 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 knock.
Dude, who's there?
Doctor? Oh,
don't.
Welcome back, everyone.
That's an absolutely depressing way to start this episode.
Yeah, kicking off 2024 strong. If you start depressed, you can't end depressed. That's some big brain stress.
I think a lot of
there.
people would say otherwise.
No, dude. It's all in your head.
It's just a mind game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Well, welcome back to our first episode of 2024.
That feels surreal to say.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm Jimmy. This is Tyler.
Hello.
And this, our first episode. It's been a hot minute since we recorded, and I say that every time
You
there's
do.
been a break in recording.
It's been like a week break, and you're like, man, it's been a hot minute. This time it actually has been like 2 months almost.
Yeah, and in a very literal sense, it has been a hot minute.
There's a portable aircon unit right next to me.
Yeah.
And we had it on to cool down the room before we started, and we turned it off, and I'm like, oh, it's hot
no.
again.
It's hot and hot.
It's hot again.
Yeah.
But obviously I am Sans hair this time.
Sans from Undertale?
Sans, yeah, the man behind the slaughter. No, that's William Afton. I always confuse them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I shaved my head
Yeah.
at the end of November. Even.
You look good, man.
Thank you. It feels so much better.
Yeah, I imagine.
The one problem, though, because the long hair was bad in the heat, but at least the sweat stayed in there. Whereas now, when I sweat on the top of my head, it just actually runs down my face.
Do you end up more sweaty now?
I don't know. Science is still out on that. I think we're going to have to see.
Post in the comments if being bald makes you more sweaty.
Please. I would like to know. But yeah.
He needs to know the science. But yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Well, at the end of 2023, someone celebrated a 60th birthday.
Who was that? Your dad?
No, he turned 50 last year, though.
Oh, well, happy 50th.
In July, dude.
Oh, okay.
Doctor Who, obviously. We're
Yeah.
talking about the entire season featuring the 14th Doctor.
Yeah. All three episodes?
Well, I mean, there's an asterisk there, because
Yeah.
even though Russell said he's not going to come back anytime soon,
he could come back.
he still could.
Yeah.
So,
We'll talk about
I
that.
say entire first series featuring the 14th Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this episode, we're going to talk the Star Beast and Wild Blue Yonder.
And the Giggle.
Okay.
Yep.
You want to do the Giggle in this one as well?
Whole 60th. Yep. Whole 60th.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off with a bang. The Star Beast.
Yeah.
You really liked it
I did really like
initially.
it. Initially. Yeah, I think once I saw the other two specials, I went, okay, that was the weakest by far.
Of the three. It definitely is, yeah.
Definitely the weakest of the three, but when I watched it on the day that it came out, I was like, oh, Doctor Who's back, baby.
Doctor Who is back.
It felt so good.
Yeah.
And also it was very cool to see a very popular comic come to life.
So it was a Tom Baker comic, right? From the 80s?
Yeah, from the 80s by Pat Mills and Dave Gibbons.
Yeah. It is very cool that they brought the Meep and the Raw. Were the Raw in the comics as well?
Wolf Warriors, yeah.
Okay. What's the story based off that comic, I guess? So,
it's completely based off that. And, and unlike what Marvel does with their properties, they actually credited them in the opening sequence and said, based on a comic by Pat Mills and Dave Gibbons.
Well, yeah, in the title sequence, it's written by Russell T Davies and then had the thing underneath
And they actually brought the two creators onto the set when they were designing the characters and everything. And so, they actually had input, I think, into, what the designs looked like for the show.
Yeah.
Which was fucking awesome.
There was a behind the scenes thing where David Tennant goes up to them and was talking about it. He's like, this was one of my favorite comics. I remember reading this. I'm like, that's wild. That's wild that you still remember a comic that you read 40 something years ago. Well,
I mean, I still remember the comics that I read 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
I still have them in a box in there. My dad's old comics that he gave me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, it was just a massive appreciation for them, it was nice. It was a very nice touch.
Especially coming out of the era of, nearly fucking 15 years of Marvel movies where zero creators have been given credit for things.
Yeah.
Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 just came out and it heavily uses stuff from Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's Venom run. Literally the design of Venom and the wings that he spread, that's literally straight from Cates and Stegman's Venom run.
No credit.
No credit anywhere.
Yeah.
Nothing, and, you know, that's not Insomniac's fault. That could be, like, a licensing thing.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Also, because Marvel's contracts stipulate that when you create something for Marvel, it is Marvel's property through and not yours, and they don't need to credit you.
Yeah.
Which is fucking dog shit.
It's a bit stinky. Like, I get it, but still
also,
credit the people who made it. It's a nice touch more than anything.
Yeah, but anyway, we're off track already.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I guess so, yeah.
But, like, I really enjoyed The Star Beast when I first watched it. In hindsight, it sort of, like, fell off a bit for me, but what did you think when you first saw it?
I really enjoyed it. It felt like a low-tier Season 4 RTD episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's, you know, the plot's nothing amazing. The villains aren't anything special, but it's still, like, an enjoyable episode for me. And it was a return to form of sorts.
Absolutely.
I reckon the production on it is amazing. It's probably the best Doctor Who's ever looked.
It's never looked that good.
Yeah.
And it just looks amazing.
It looks so good. Like, the cinematography of it is amazing. I noticed recently, I saw a comment that, like, this whole thing is shot, like, at nighttime. It all happens at night, but it still feels very homey. I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt very nice to watch, like, when it came out. But yeah, it was really solid for me. There were some things that were a bit iffy.
Did you know going in, or did you figure out at the beginning that the meep was going to turn out to be evil?
No. I had no idea. Because I don't really...
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, big spoilers. We're going to spoil
big spoilers,
like,
especially for Wild Blue Yonder.
Yeah.
And heading into the regeneration, and spoilers.
Yeah. So I'm not familiar at all with the meep.
Sure.
So I thought it was just going to be this cute villain that the Roth wanted for some reason.
Sure.
And that's how it, like, starts. But then it became evil. I was like, oh, okay. All right, cool. It was a cool twist.
Yeah,
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
In the original comic with the meep, like, very early on, you see the meep's, like, inner thoughts in the comics, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill everyone here. So, like, you as a reader know at the beginning pretty much that the meep is evil.
Yeah.
But obviously the Doctor and everyone else doesn't.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing in the behind the scenes or whatever for this, or in Doctor Who magazine or something, Russell said that they actually, when the meep was in the shed with Rose, they actually did toy with the idea of him, like, trying to kill Rose and then Rose turning around and him, like, stopping.
Yeah.
Or, like, something, like, just so that the audience knew, but then they decided not to do that.
I like the way they revealed it.
I agree,
the courtroom scene or whatever that was.
Fucking David Tennant just pulling a fucking judge's wig out of it. I'm like, all right.
I was like, I'm down for it.
Valiard?
Yeah.
Like...
I want to talk about, like, the title sequence just really quickly.
I know you didn't like it.
No, I like it.
You told me you didn't.
I don't like the pacing of it.
That everything doesn't match up with...
It doesn't match up. It feels like the song is just kind of cut off shorter than it should be.
So I actually saw someone made a video on YouTube, like someone edited that title sequence, but the titles all land with the music.
And it works perfectly fine.
And it looks way better.
Yeah.
But, like, the visuals
looks awesome.
Spectacular.
I love it. And the new composition by Murray Gold, I'm so happy he's back.
Murray Gold.
It sounds really good. That, like, the only gripe I have is it just doesn't sync up amazingly well.
I get that.
And I heard they actually had, like, another little scene made for it with, like, the Doctor, like, the 14th and the 15th Doctor, like, coming out of the TARDIS a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then RTD showed it to Moffat. Moffat's like, good idea. Don't do it. That looks like shit. It's something like that. I'm not quoting it properly.
I like that they jumped over Chibnall and went back to Moffat.
Yeah. It was just something that looked like they were going to include something that just looked really weird and they didn't. So that's why it feels weird. Like, the pacing of it's a little strange. So that was just something cut out. But yeah, no, it looks amazing. Do you like the sonic screwdriver that he's using?
Yeah, so I have I think one of my only gripes with the Sonic was when he made, like, those shields, the hard light shields. On the counter argument to what I just said, I like that it's not like OP. He can't just, like, make the shields in a flash and they're there. Like, it was a very slow process.
Yeah, you had to, like, draw it out.
You watch him draw it out, and it's like, okay, like, this is not something he can just whip up in a flash. Like, I'm sure he could just go whoop and make, like, a quick one in front of him or something, you know, but it was a slow process. So I liked that they sort of nerfed it a little bit.
And, like, the shields break, like, pretty quick.
And they weren't super sturdy. But I was like, that's a fucking weird addition.
It's interesting. Oh, when he's, like, sitting down, he makes, like, that screen. He's like,
I like that.
That is cool.
Like the little, like, Tony Stark fucking screen projection. And he's like, I like that a lot. That actually,
cool.
to me, is like what the Sonic should always be.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it should be, to be honest.
Like, just more scientific.
Yeah. But then, like, the shields were a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I still liked it.
Yeah. Do you like the design of it?
I do like the design of it. I think it's really cool.
It looked really cool. It's kind of a shame they're not keeping it.
Yeah.
Because the new Shooty's gut with screwdriver looks fine.
It's a remote more than a screwdriver.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, though.
I like it. I don't know if I love the shape, but the design of it's really cool. And like the Rondon phrase, Gallon phrase, a really nice touch.
I really like that.
But it's just like kind of an odd choice to have a new screwdriver that he only uses for 3 episodes.
I was so worried that they were going to destroy that fucking TARDIS set.
Yeah.
And that would just be for the 14th Doctor and Shooty would have a new one.
Yeah.
I was so worried. But then I saw behind the scenes, they were like, there are 900 LEDs. And I'm like, oh, they're not destroying
they're
this.
not.
I was like, they're keeping this.
It looks like a very expensive set. There was like a little montage of like it all being built up. And like, there's no way they're getting rid of that.
It was fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine
Imagine
tearing it down.
Gosh.
And but also at the end of the Star Beast, when fucking Donna spills the coffee and it starts exploding, I was like,
oh my god,
he's been there for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Don't do this, Russell.
I felt like that was weird. It just felt so comical when she's like, oh no.
Yeah, and like earlier in the episode, when she said she got fired, I was like, oh, whatever. That's not important.
Yeah.
And then when she's like, yeah, I spilled coffee. And then he's like, here's a coffee. And I'm like, oh, she's going to fucking spill the coffee.
Yeah.
But then also I was like, oh, maybe she doesn't. Maybe that's like the whole thing. But no, then she went, whoops. And
oopsies.
Like literally like threw it onto the console.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way they could have staged that to make it look a bit more natural.
Yeah.
That was the take they went with. Like,
it could have been like she like was bumped or something and accidentally spilled it.
Or like maybe the TARDIS jutted or something. Yeah, and she like I don't know. It was just very unnatural.
It was weird.
And then also, and I'm sure you've got more to say about this as well, because I know you do. The final line of the episode was, time and space. And I went, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah.
The sound mixing, especially in that explosion, and then there's the explosion and the heading into the credits, and he's like, time and space. And then the fucking credits me. I was like, I listened to it again. I went, what the hell did he say?
What does he say?
I don't know.
I had subtitles on. I still don't think I knew what he said.
I think he says, we're traveling somewhere in time. I literally don't know what he said.
Yeah. The audio mixing, it's not as bad in this episode. It's more a problem in Wild Blue Yonder and not as bad in the Giggle, but I
noticed it way more in the Giggle.
Oh, really?
I noticed it a lot more in the Giggle.
Yeah, okay.
There were quite a lot of moments where I'm like, man, that music is just too fucking loud.
That's my only problem. Like, the music is really well composed. It just felt
beautiful.
A little obnoxious in terms of like levels. Like it was a lot louder sometimes than the dialogue and even the effects sometimes.
That's very classic Doctor Who though. The music is just always too loud.
Yeah, but like I've been watching like season 3 and 4 again, and it didn't feel nearly as bad as that.
Classic Who. I mean like
like classic. Oh, okay.
Like the music was always like and John Powder's like, we're gonna go and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's I do agree. The music was stunning. Murray Gold is Murray Gold.
It really helped make this episode feel like a traditional Doctor Who episode again.
Yeah.
More so like an RTD episode again.
Yeah.
And like having that, obviously the Donna Noble family being back, and obviously David Tennant being there, it felt very much like a traditional Doctor Who episode. And that's probably why I liked it a good amount, even though like the plot was, it was fine. It's like, nothing special.
I mean, like they've got like Disney money now, right? So like, but it's really good to see that the first episode that they make with like this fucking insane budget, they put it all into like practical effects, and making everything look really good, and then the whole story takes place in like a fucking house, like literally, and then like a room at the end with the glass between them, between the Doctor and Wilf. I mean, the Doctor and Donna. Like, it's... Yeah, I mean, the parallels there were very obvious.
Yeah.
Like...
And when he starts, like, screaming, what does he say? He's like, why does it have to be like this or something? Like,
ooh.
That line felt just, like, a little unnatural. I don't know.
It did a bit.
It sort of came out of
But
nowhere.
I was also
like,
quite swept up with, I'm like, man, David Tennant's back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
If he was back.
No one shows fucking traumatized Doctor like David Tennant does.
Yeah. He did such a good job. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about overall thoughts on the 14th Doctor.
Yeah, I've never liked the 10th Doctor very much. I think that his highs, his like best episodes are like some of the best of the whole show.
Yeah.
I think like Midnight is phenomenal. I still have fond memories of Journey's End, but I know you rewatched it recently and you did not have the same.
No, it's still good. It's just not as good as I remember it.
But like
being.
I've only seen the 10th Doctor's stuff once through, like back 10 years ago.
You should watch it again.
I mean, I'm currently watching it again. I'm skipping most of season 2, but
that's gonna be a fun episode. Get ready for
season
that.
2's garbage. I'm putting that out there in advance. Season 2's garbage. But like, I never liked the 10th Doctor a lot because I loved Eccleston so much.
Yeah.
And then Tennant came in and like that dynamic ruined Rose for me. Yeah. And I was like, but Rose and 9 was so perfect.
Yeah.
Like Rose was ruined for me. I only started liking him when Martha came in, but then I didn't love Martha anyway.
Yeah.
But then when Donna came in, I was like, okay, finally. And then he left. And I was like, fuck.
Like, God damn. It's because there was always like these romantic relationships or hints at a romantic relationship. I'm like, I don't need this. I don't want it.
No. Yeah. But like Donna was the first time. I was like, finally.
Yeah. Like,
so seeing him come back with Catherine Tate,
it was good.
It was amazing, and I actually like the 14th Doctor more than I like the 10th.
Well, he's just a lot more emotionally. I don't know, vulnerable is the word, but yeah.
But like
more open.
I believe that this is like the performance was still very similar, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, I can see Smith, Capaldi, and Whittaker in there. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's just me, like, projecting, but, like, I really can.
I can see there's a lot more, I guess, 13th and maybe 11th in him. Probably not as much Capaldi, but the other two,
the eyebrows.
Sure. Yeah, the angry eyebrows.
Which is funny, because they're both Scottish. So.
Yeah. I think his new Doctor, it's not, like, his new traits aren't as apparent in the Star Beast. I think it's shown more in Wild Blue, Yonder, and the Giggle to an extent. This felt like more of a typical 10th Doctor kind of adventure, but there were hints at him being slightly different. I wish there were more. Yeah, I don't think that there isn't as much of a change, I think, that I was expecting. Yeah. But he was still good. It's David Tennant. He did a great job.
He was great, yeah. And, like, it really, like, confirmed for me that, like, okay, no, David Tennant is a really good actor.
Yeah.
I just didn't particularly enjoy the 10th Doctor's run.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's good to know. Because I see David Tennant in other stuff, like Broadchurch or, like, Staged or whatever, and I'm like, man, this guy's funny and he can play dark so well. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. And I think that's why episodes like Midnight and Silence in the Library, like, really stand out. Because, like, he actually gets to show that range. Even Voyage of the Damned,
I think more so like the Family of Blood is when you really see
Tennant's range.
Endings,
that ending of Family of Blood, I was like, holy
crap.
Holy crap Lois. Hey, it's the first Holy Crap Lois of 2024.
This is going to be the year of Holy Crap Lois.
Every episode will sneak it in there.
We've gotten rid of the Markiplier references.
Markiplier endings are gone now.
Yeah.
It's Holy Crap Lois 2024.
It's just Family Guy now.
Family Guy 2024.
I don't know.
Hey, doctor, get over here.
We've hit a new low.
God
everyone.
Damn it.
Oh, man.
So, I guess we've sort of given general thoughts about the 60th specials overall so far, and like the Doctor and the opening theme and the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I actually don't have a terrible amount more to say about the Star Beast specifically, except for the family. What do you have anything more that you would like to say?
Sure do. I really like Unit in this episode. The introduction of Shirley as a character was really cool.
Yes,
and the
really
banter that
Shirley.
She has with David Tennant's characters. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And she was kind of OP as well. She had like those weapons.
Fucking rockets in the wheelchair, dude.
I was like, dude,
that was lit as hell.
This person's badass. And then you see her again in the Giggle, which is a really nice touch.
I really like that.
So that's a character I'm really keen to see come back. In the future. And it looks like Unit's going to come back.
Unit will come back, as we saw in the trailer for season 1,
So I really liked that. It was good seeing the Noble family again. I know I really did enjoy Rose as a character. I thought they were really cool. And
I loved Rose,
Yeah, and the scenes in the shed. I didn't initially put it together that the toys that they were
neither.
making...
Not until the end, yeah.
It looked nothing like what they were trying to make it look like. But then they were like, oh, yeah, this one looks like a Dalek, or this one looks like I think one of them is meant to look like a Arachnos and the Ood and stuff. I was like...
As soon as they said at the end, that's an Ood, like, and you show all the shots, I went, of course that's a fucking Ood, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, Donna said something about, like, oh, you need to make more of this. Everyone loves this. And she said this word, and I was like, what is that? Like... But then, obviously, she meant Dalek, but she was calling it something different, obviously, because she didn't say Dalek. But, I don't know. It was very nice. I thought Rose was an excellent addition, and I absolutely loved how fucking mad people got about the fact that there was that there was a trans person in a Doctor Who episode. It's happened before, guys. It's happened before.
It's just annoying to me where people are like, oh no, Doctor Who is woke now. It's always been woke.
Literally,
it's been woke since classic
The second episode of Doctor Who, the Daleks, the 7-part Dalek episode, Terry Nation has been on record saying, yes, I modeled them after the fucking Nazis. Like, that is, it's a group of aliens who want to make everyone the same and create a master race. It's literally World War II.
Yeah.
Since 1963. And people are like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
But a trans person? No,
that's too far.
That's where I draw the fucking line.
Yeah. But, I thought they're a great addition, and it's just so good for trans awareness and non-binary awareness too. I thought it was so good.
The ending was, look, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the ending.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about it.
About the, just let it go. They let go of it.
Yeah.
About, like, a lot of it felt very comical a little bit, the way that, because obviously, like, the binary, that's a throwback to when Donna, like, left in Series 4. But then, to then cut from that to non-binary, I was like, oh, that's a bit funny.
It's a little bit of it's a little jarring.
I appreciated what they were going for. I fully respect and understand what the message was. Like, I just think the way that it was cut together was very funny. And I was like, comical. Oh, that was weird. Yeah. But I liked it, though.
I like the message, the Doctor being a non-binary kind of figure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, that's... And again, people getting mad about that, and I'm like, dude, the Doctor was literally a woman a year ago. Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
Well, that's the only, like, gripe I had with that last scene, when they're like, you're male presenting now. You
wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it. If when you were a woman, you would have got it. But he was just a woman.
I know. I was a bit like, okay, that's a bit...
I think it's just more so... It just clashed with the messages that they were trying to have before about non-binary and all that. It was just a little strange. Yeah. I think it would have made more sense if they're like, you're a Time Lord, or you're you. You don't know how to let go. And it would have been a callback to when he was regenerating, saying, I don't want to go.
But then also a call forward to when he bi-regenerates.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Because he needs to let it go.
Yeah.
Whoa, I just put that together.
Well, hey, dude.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
But like, it's... I really enjoyed the message of it. I thought it was, amazing for representation.
Yeah.
I love how mad it has made people.
It's
because
I love and hate it.
It's made people so mad. And I'm like, cool, fuck off, Boomer.
Yeah.
But then also, it's brought on a whole bunch of new fans who are like, suddenly this feels like a show for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, excellent.
And that's what
it should be.
Absolutely.
There we go.
At the same time.
There we go.
Yeah. I think the only other thing about that scene is just that the meta crisis was such a pivotal moment in Doctor Who. For them just to let it go, it just felt a little anticlimactic. I knew they were going to retcon it. I was fine with that. It's what it... And it makes sense that Rose would have some of that meta-crisis energy.
I like that a lot.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think it's just them just letting go. So like...
Them just going, okay, and breathing it out. And they're like, cool, next.
That's
and
done.
I'm like, we waited 15 years for a conclusion to that.
Yeah.
And like... I mean, to be honest, I can't think of a better idea.
No, that's something for better writers than us to kind of figure out.
Like, to be honest, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But I wasn't pleased about it, but I understand.
I was like, I don't know how else they would have done it.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to deal with. And like, the sequence up in the Meep's ship with the glass between Donna and the Doctor, that was top tier. Like, that was unreal.
It was just so good to see just the Doctor and Donna being back together in that sense. You know, the Donna before she had a memories raised.
I just remembered right after that, obviously, we're like, well, that's happening. The fucking cracks going through the earth. And then they like revert and they like close up.
You're like, but how?
That's not how the earth works.
That's just, it was goofy.
Also, that would have been very interesting though if the cracks remained.
Yeah.
So like there's a Batman comic where like, and they sort of like half adapted it into the Batman, the Robert Pattinson one, where, you know, a really bad earthquake hits Gotham City. It's called Cataclysm. And for like the like years following that, all of the Batman books were centered around like the ramifications of that earthquake, the fallout from it, villains rising up to take advantage of it. Like it was a pivotal point in like Batman's history. And I was like, oh, maybe they're doing that sort of thing, like maybe for the rest of the specials, maybe into Shooty's series. Like it's dealing with the ramifications of the Meep ship. Like but no, it just fucking closes up.
It would just wouldn't have been interesting to see if like it just stayed. Yeah, it would have had an impact on the Giggle or even the church on Ruby Road.
But also, it could have even very much been when they go for Wild Blue Yonder and then they come back for the Giggle. Like maybe like it has closed up as a result of the toy maker or something. Yeah. You know, like because history's been altered slightly. Yeah. Like the mavity of the situation was just immediately taken away.
That was well done, dude. I appreciated that.
What do you mean?
Oh. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, mavity. Yeah.
The mavity of the situation was like immediately taken away. Yeah. By God, are we going to be those insufferable? This is the new generation of like.
This is the new
people slipping mavity into conversation now is the bow ties are cool. Yeah. Fezzes are cool of the 2020s.
It's that video that you've shown me.
I hate that. No, I'm not doing it anymore out of protest. Yeah. Shooty did it in the Christmas special.
He did.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. That was funny.
Yeah. I remember I went to work like the day after that happened and there were a couple of people who I talked to about Doctor Who and they're like, mavity. I was like, no.
Oh, shit.
Crap.
This is the new bow ties are cool. Fuck my life,
I'm not mad about it, but like...
I'm a bit mad about it.
A little mad about it.
Because I was that person and I was insufferable.
Yeah, I know.
And
I'll do it. I know.
Yeah.
The only quick thing I want to say before we move on, it's just weird how the Doctor was so intent on not seeing Donna or trying to be away from Donna because, you know, she'll die if she remembers. Yeah. But then actively, like, gets back with her, like, very quickly and doesn't try to get away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, like, to be fair, though, like, he was following the Meep. The Meep was at Donna's house. And it's like, oh, well, like, I guess I'm here now.
Yeah. I think I wish there were more scenes where, like, they were separate and, like, separate things happened to them, but they started, like, conversing back in on each other.
Well, I mean, they were together as of, like, minute one of the episode, you know, like, just straight up.
It was a very quick start. I mean, that episode. It was straight into
very pacey, which I appreciated, to be honest. Like, because then that gave us time, you know, to really fucking sit and watch while he drew those shields. So just a long time. Yeah, just a long time.
It was a long time. But no, one quick thing, another very quick thing. I really liked how Murray Gold like incorporated some previous motif themes from previous seasons, like when he's sitting there drawing the thing and it had like the 10th Doctor's theme.
Yes, it did.
And I think that's like part of the 11th Doctor's theme in the ship. In the climax.
There was some of I Am the Doctor, for sure.
It was awesome.
Like I heard it and I was like, oh, that's I heard nice. I heard the 7/8 and I was like, oh,
there it is. And like obviously Donna's theme as well. It was cool. They're all really nice touches. That's it. I'm done with Star Beast now.
Great.
Let's move on.
All right.
Wild Blue Yonder.
Hell yeah.
Gosh. When you messaged me about it, you're like, this episode is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, next episode. The Giggle.
Cool, the Giggle. No, so obviously we knew nothing about this episode, which was wild in the sense of like every fucking day I saw someone being like, Matt Smith's going to be in it. Yeah. Peter Capaldi's going to be in it. Yeah. Jodie Whittaker's going to be in it. Like every day. John Simm's going to be in it. Yeah. And I'm like,
in what world?
No, they're fucking not.
Yeah.
But like, and to the point where like the writer or the director of the episode had to like tweet and be like, hey guys,
that's not happening.
Matt Smith's not in the episode. Can we we just thought it would be fun to keep it a secret.
But fans were like, oh, he's just saying that. He's just lying us to, so the surprise is really good.
Which pissed me off because then when the episode came out and it was really good, people were like, I didn't really like it because I don't know, I'm like, because you built up the expectation in your head that it was going to be more than what it was.
I have to I had my expectations up a little high because
I
of
know
that.
you did, yeah.
So I'm a sucker for that, which sucks.
You are.
I think it kind of hurt the episode a little bit just because of the expectations, but I still liked it, like going in blind completely. It was good to go into an episode not knowing shit all.
I would have been pissed if I had it spoiled for me.
Yeah.
Like, just because, so like that moment, right, where they're in the separate rooms doing their own thing. Donna's moving the things and the doctor's in the cooling room.
Yeah.
And, the doctor walks in and like squats on the floor near Donna, and I went, oh,
this is weird.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And like it was a bit unsettling, and like the way that it was framed and the way that he was looking at her, I went, okay. And then he was like not saying anything, and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then it cut from a shot of him to a shot of him in the other room, and I went, what? I was like, fire the editor on this episode. That was trash. and then you see Donna walk in, and I went, oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was a really cool moment.
We did get a multi-doctor episode.
In a sense, yeah, we did.
We got two.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was fucking eerie, dude. And because like you're realizing it and you're figuring it out, and then like you're watching the Doctor and Donna figure it out.
Yeah.
And just my arms are too long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
What do you mean?
I like, yeah. What do you mean by that? Fucking my favorite shot in Doctor Who history is David Tennant walking out of the room with his fucking hands dragging on the floor behind him.
Is that when he like bends over?
No. Like when he initially walks out and his hands are enormous.
Oh, yeah.
And they're dragging on the floor behind him. And he's like, can never quite get the arms right. And then he like brings them back up. Like,
that was creepy.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah.
It was funny because those were actual like prosthetics.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's so good.
We didn't say this about the Meep and the Wrath Warriors, but they were also all like 100% like real. Like the behind the scenes of the guys in the Wrath Warrior suits. Sick.
It's awesome.
And the behind the scenes of this episode, looking at the prosthetics and everything, like so cool.
It's so good that they're just not putting money into CGI. They're still putting a lot of like practical effects and prosthetics. It's a really nice touch. It is something they continue on in the Giggle and the Church and Ruby Road, which we'll talk about later. I thought it was creepy, but lots of people on Twitter were comparing it to Midnight.
I think it's a fair comparison, though.
It's a fair comparison. I don't think it was as scary.
I think it was. I think it was a spiritual successor to Midnight. Which I don't think people are saying it's like scarier than Midnight. I think people are just pointing out the fact that it's like the same episode, but with like a bit more of a like the stakes in this one actually felt higher though. Whereas Midnight, it was just like they're on a little bus. It's a bottle episode. Like they're just on the bus. It was like okay. But like still fucking a masterclass in tension. Yeah. And this episode didn't feel as tense. No. But the stakes felt higher.
Yeah, like if they got out, shit could go bad.
Whereas in Midnight, we didn't really know what was going on. Yeah. And we still don't. To be honest.
Which I think is the beauty of that episode compared to this one. I think they were a lot less subtle. Like you know what they were called themselves. Yeah. They were actively talking with the Doctor and Donna. Yeah. You knew what their motives were. It was just like a lot of that mystery sort of taken out for me. And I think the CGI at times was just a little not
jaw,
great.
Like initially when he's like, oh, the jaw. Ooh. Yeah. I was like, okay. It looked goofy, but I'm like, yeah, that's what I expected.
It's fine. Like, I think it killed some of the scariness for me a little bit.
See, to me, it was kind of like that uncanny valley where I was like, that kind of made it scarier for me because it didn't look perfect. Yeah. And I'm like, ooh. Yeah. Ooh, because they are creatures that are adapting to being these like people, and it like I don't know, to me that made it like uncanny and made it really scary.
Yeah, I think those moments were fine. It was just, I think it was when they got really, really big and all their faces looked weird. I was just like,
that was the scariest part for me. When they were being chased down the hallway and they were getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. Holy shit, that was terrifying.
It's creepy, yeah. I think the CGI just didn't look as great for me.
No, but again, I think that's why it worked for me. Yeah. Because it looked really uncanny and really creepy. Yeah. Whereas if it had have just been literally footage of David Tennant in front of a green screen. Yeah. Like crawling and they just blew him up. I feel like that would have been like, okay.
Like, that's weird.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. But because it was all warped and weird looking and not perfect, that's what did it for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Oh, and the fucking like, oh, right. Things exist. Like, things continue existing. and then just fucking bending his spine backwards, like putting his head between his legs.
That was cool.
And like running after Donald. I was like, what? You're
like, oh my god. Yeah.
That was terrifying.
It's a lot of things that we just haven't really seen much of in a Doctor Who episode before. A lot of horror tropes.
A lot of like body horror.
It's definitely a return to form in the sense of like a really cool, unique, creepy idea.
Yeah.
Which I really liked. But at the same time, a really simple one.
Absolutely.
Like, I saw something with Russell T Davies. He was like, this is honestly a really simple episode. It's a very, very simple premise. And he's like, it's actually hard to put that in a trailer.
Yeah.
Which is why we didn't really know much. It's like, what would I put in the trailer that would not spoil the entire thing?
Exactly.
So I was like, yeah.
And I appreciate that because, like, also, I haven't been, like, I don't know, like, so back like, you know, a long time ago when Marvel was still making average movies, not just garbage movies, I was always excited. I'm like, okay, Guardians 2 is out tomorrow. I have to stay off social media until I see it.
Yeah.
Like, because it felt important. Whereas now, like, the Marvels came out and I Googled Marvel's post-credit scene and I saw what it was, like, because I just don't fucking care.
Who cares anymore?
And it's being spoiled right at this... it's being spoiled before it comes out.
Yeah.
But like the second it becomes available to be spoiled, it's spoiled
everywhere. Yeah.
And I don't know, it just frustrates me that that's the culture we live in, where people are like, well, if you don't want to be spoiled, just unfollow all the pages for this thing that you like. Just don't go on social media. Some people work on social media, first of all. Second of all, unfollow all of the Doctor Who pages that I follow.
I'm good.
Also, because the algorithm would still pick up that I like Doctor Who, and it would still recommend it to me. So there's but like people just get so like shitty about it in comment sections. They're like the Doctor Who page was posting spoilers about it right away.
They kind of add to the problem a little bit.
But also, like, I saw like Russell talking about that. And he was like, you know, like about the Giggle specifically. And he was like, you know, that's our job. Like, we have to do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, because we're marketing the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get that. But also, you couldn't wait fucking 24 hours to post a clip of massive David Tennant, David Hugeman. Like you couldn't wait a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, and the spoilers thing, I've been wanting to make a video about that for a really long time, actually. Yeah. Maybe I will this year.
You should. We could do a podcast about it.
I've got lots to say.
Yeah.
Got lots to say about it. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots to say. But I really liked going in blind because I stayed off social media all day. Like, I kept myself busy, like, before I could watch it. Yeah. And it's because it comes out at like 3 a.m. here for us.
Yeah,
so like
some weird time.
It's fine going to bed, but as soon as I wake up, from the second I'm awake, I'm like, okay, no social media.
Yeah.
Which is actually...
You can't even load up Instagram or Twitter, something.
Kind of nice,
X,
though.
Sorry. Yeah.
X, yeah, dude, come on.
Yeah, I saw like a couple, no spoilery things, but I saw like a couple of things, which was a bit of a shame, but hey, what are you going to do?
I think on the whole, I don't know, I was tossing up in my head whether I liked this or the Giggle more.
I like the Giggle more.
I like parts of the Giggle more, and I like parts of this more than the Giggle, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think these two, for me, like, stand almost on equal footing.
Yeah, but they're good for different reasons.
But exactly, there's parts of this that I really appreciate more than the Giggle, but then there's parts of the Giggle that I really appreciate more.
Are there other parts that we haven't talked about that you really appreciated?
Yeah, I really like the mystery surrounding the pilot of the ship, and the way that and the robot as well. Yeah, the way that all played out.
Jimbo.
The fucking robot, Jimbo. He was like, he was practical. He was made. Did you watch the behind the scenes of how they made him?
It's insane.
He's in like fucking 2 shots.
Yeah.
And they met, like, it was unreal, dude. It was
a lot of attention to detail, a lot of effort for something that's barely in it.
And
it's a nice touch.
When the Doctor first went up to him and went, you know, no sudden moves, and then they walked away, I went, oh, he's going to just start appearing places, right? Like,
I thought so too.
I was waiting for him to, they would round a corner and he would be there, or like they'd go into the control room and he would be there. Like, I was waiting for that, like that horror element. Yeah. So like, I was waiting for that. Yeah. Because that's what I felt like they'd set up. Yeah. And then when they actually introduced what was going on, I went, holy fuck. Like, it actually so much better. Caught me off guard. Yeah. Because I was expecting the robot to be the threat.
Well, it's because it's like the only thing they've put in promotional work is him being in it. So you thought, oh, that's the baddie.
Matt Smith's in there.
It's gonna pop out.
But yeah, it actually looks like the design of it, the egg design. It looks very similar to Davros's like little ship from Remembrance of the Daleks from the Seventh Doctor.
Yeah.
Like that he escapes it. I was like, maybe it's Davros. And they went, no, we just had a Davros episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just sidebar real quick. The Children in Need special was really fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
The where they're naming the Dalek and the Doctor puts the fucking plunger. That was so fun.
So good.
Like I saw that, obviously that came out just before the Star Beast.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is more Doctor Who in the last like 1 minute.
In 5 minutes.
Than it was in like 5 years.
It was pretty good. It was pretty funny. I just like the whole scene of them trying to figure out the name for the Dalek.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was excellent fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I also very much enjoyed the Timeless Child stuff in this episode.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Like
they touched on it so well, and they gave the Doctor like so much depth and character that they were not given at all during Chibnall's run.
And I think the thing I liked more than the fact that they brought up the Timeless Child in such a nice way was the fact that like half the universe got destroyed in flux, and it was the Doctor's fault. And Jodie went, oh well,
that's fine.
Actually, no, she didn't even say oh well. She didn't address it.
Yeah,
they didn't address it at all.
Yeah,
and so for them to in this episode for the Doctor to actually, appear to be cut up about it. I was like, thank you.
He was pretty mad about it. He was kicking them walls. He was screaming.
Yeah,
he was not a happy boy. Great. Yeah, that was really good. So I haven't seen Flux, so I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't know that the Doctor caused it.
I liked Flux, to be honest. Like, it started off as a bit of a mess. It got pretty good in the middle, to be honest, and then it ended just catastrophically. Which is, it was a damn shame because it was a cool idea.
Yeah.
And I like the idea like they did with Key to Time and Trial of a Time Lord. Like, I like the idea of a season long.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically just one big episode.
Yeah.
So, like, I like that. But, it is what it is.
It's cool. It was just cool to see something massive happen and have like such an impact on him. It was kind of like Time War-esque. Not to the same extent. And I was kind of hoping we'd see more of it with the 14th Doctor, and it might carry on with Ncuti.
Well, it has a bit, based on the Christmas special,
yeah. But yeah, it was just a really nice touch, and the scene that the Doctor had with the Donna, but when the Donna was the not thing, it was really, really good.
God, those sequences when it was them separated, them trying to figure out we as an audience are like, shit,
which one is which? Yeah.
Like, the tie was such a masterful touch from Donna.
Yeah.
Like, being like, where's your tie gone? And he's like, oh. Right. That was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
And then, Donna then being like, it's okay, and then walking towards him and melting into
the ground. Yeah.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Well, it's just like, just the way that she's teasing the Doctor in that scene. It's just like made him get so emotional. Yeah. She's like, ha, dickhead.
Got you, you fucking idiot.
Got him. It was just like, oh man, these guys are something else.
I want to talk about 2 more specific things about this episode.
Yeah, okay.
3 more.
Oh, shit.
The first one is the moment, again, between the glass, between the Dr. Donna and the not things. We need to stop doing this.
RTD loves
RTD loves to put glass between people.
Yeah.
Where they're like, don't think, don't say anything, and the not thing Doctor is like trying to egg him on and be like, aren't you curious about what's going on? And the Doctor's like, it was actually really great.
Yeah.
And because then the Doctor realizing made the not thing realize, and then they're on the correct side to get out.
Yeah.
Like, it was great.
Fuck. Yeah.
It was great. And then the reveal that it was all a big bomb and that they were doing it really slowly because they're not things learned from fast. Like, I really liked that. The way that they did all of that.
And like the sounds coming through the ship was actually just a countdown. But like, was it in a different language but reversed or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Cool as hell.
It was a nice little twist, like having like the captain there. Like, oh, the captain knew and the captain did this. It was just a very, very tense ending to that episode.
Made less tense by the fact that fucking David Tennant is on all fours fucking running. That was so funny.
But it makes sense that they would do that.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying to watch David Tennant get down on all fours and start fucking leaping like a fucking cheetah.
I don't know why he didn't do it at the start.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like the hallway was not that long, right? They were running for a long time.
Yeah, they were.
They were running for a long time.
Although, to be honest, when they first got into that hallway, they're not like at the start of the hallway. They're like midway through.
Yeah, but the robot was much further down than they were.
True, yeah.
And he was only taking he only took like 5 steps in the episode.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
when they're in that vehicle and they're driving down in that chase sequence. So
I suppose that is
longer
quite...
than-
I don't know. It felt very disproportionate to me. But
Yeah.
David Tennant running on all fours, banger.
Yeah.
But then the final thing I wanted to say was about Donna and the ending.
Ah,
Like, as
their
in, like,
acting was
like
so good.
when it's the 2 Donnas at the TARDIS door and the Doctor's like figuring out which one to take, and he grabs Donna, and for a second I went, what if it's not?
Yeah.
And I went, no. And then when she got in the TARDIS and like Donna's left there screaming and crying, and then and in the TARDIS you see the other Donna start to smirk. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, Russell, no.
There's a bit of a hot take. I kind of wish they killed Donna. I think it would have been a really interesting thing to do in the last episode.
There was one part of... Oh, you mean like in the Giggle kill Donna?
No, in Wild Blue Yonder, she died right there and then. Imagine.
I genuinely thought they were about to do that.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that I'd seen her in the previews for the Giggle.
Yeah.
Which, again, is another thing in favor of just not showing off whole episodes in trailers.
Yeah.
Like, because imagine if Donna wasn't in any of the promotional material for the Giggle.
Yeah.
Imagine if she wasn't.
It would have been weird.
We would have got to the end of that episode, and everyone would have been like,
oh no,
fuck. But then the Doctor, I love the little like eject button on the TARDIS that like
just goes
flips around.
down. You're like, oh, this is goofy.
Brilliant.
It's so good.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
But like, the acting on Catherine Tate in that scene was just out of this world.
Yeah.
Like I was like shaking, dude. Like it was so good.
It was so good.
And then Wilf.
Oh god, that was such a beautiful.
The only scene that they got to film with Bernard Cribbins.
Yeah.
God
Did
damn.
they didn't film more for the Giggle. They were going to.
But he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did he pass away? No, I thought he just had health implications and they couldn't film and then he died afterwards.
Oh, he died shortly afterwards. But yeah, something like that. But like, I think it was like while they were filming still, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, that scene with Wilf and like getting to see Donna with her memories back and then getting to see the 10th Doctor's face again.
Yeah. And Wilfred starts like crying. You're like, oh man,
you don't
have to do this to me.
That made me so unreasonably emotional.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck this, man.
He's just the best side character.
Wilf
in the
was
entire series.
truly the best.
Yeah.
Oh man,
love that guy. Love
Bernard
that guy.
Cribbins. Bless him.
Bless that man. Bless his cotton socks.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I think you've kind of touched on everything I was going to say. I think the last thing I kind of want to say is I kind of wish the production of the ship was a little too clean for me. That hallway, I kind of wish it was just like a little bit more run down.
Yeah, I
guess that ship had been like unattended for 3 or so years.
That's true.
So
it was shifting around though.
Yeah,
so
it was. I think I just wish it looked a little bit more run down. I think it would have added to like the creepy aesthetic just a little bit. Like if it looked more like Jimbo.
Yeah, a bit run
but
down.
that's like a really small gripe. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. It was a lot better. Like it was a big jump from the Star Beast.
Yeah, I think for me it's definitely like a top 5 modern Doctor Who.
Okay.
Yeah, I would put it up there somewhere.
Okay.
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go on.
I was gonna say I don't know where I would put it, but it's one of the better episodes.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
And now the Giggle.
The Giggle. That was good. Hey, good job, man.
Yeah.
That was nice. This was my favorite of the 3 specials.
Like I said with Wild Blue Yonder, there were moments in this that were my favorite. There were moments in that were my favorite.
Yeah.
I think overall I enjoyed this episode more, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But even saying that, I'm like, no, I liked Wild Blue Yonder more. I don't know. I really don't know. It was fucking good though.
I think I like this episode more, probably just because of the toy maker. I think
Neil Patrick Harris is like he's something else.
Perfect casting.
Well, the behind the scenes I was watching, David Tennant was like, yeah, this man can like juggle, and he can, he's a magician, so he can do card inside of hand stuff. Like, he's a puppeteer, he's a dancer and a singer. He's like, if we couldn't get him, I actually don't know who we would have gone.
It's like, I think we would have been fucked if we didn't get him.
But like, for real, they would have been. He was perfect for that role.
Well, it's good that Russell had worked with him in
in Sin.
Yeah. So that's always a good connection to have.
I love in the behind the scenes as well. You see Neil Patrick Harris, like when he's on the roof doing the Bi-Generation, the catch scene.
Yeah.
And he's like, in the behind the scenes, he was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But it feels important and it feels like historical. But he's like, but I've got no frame of reference. Like, which I thought was really funny.
That's funny, but it's cool. It's like this appreciation for what they're doing, because it was cool what they were doing, even if you had no idea about Doctor Who previously.
I'm sure he does. Like,
I thought he said, like, before going in, he's like, I've never seen, no clue.
Yeah, but like, even people who haven't seen Doctor Who probably know about like Regeneration.
Yeah.
No, like, they're aware of Doctor Who. I don't know. I mean, and he's worked with people who have been a part of Doctor Who, so like,
that's true.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure he had some idea. I'm not speaking on his behalf anymore.
No, you should.
Yeah. No, he knew exactly. But it was I in the trailers I was very worried about his German accent. I was like, that's a bit of a garbage accent, to be honest. But then in the episode, even the characters are like, your accent's slipping. And like,
that's right.
Because he's just putting it on. Yeah. But like the fucking moment when he's juggling and like throwing the balls at the Doctor and Donna. And then he's like, oh, he is not recognizing me, like, and then I was like, this is goofy as hell. And then when he drops him and he goes, we meet again, Doctor. And I went, whoa!
Yeah.
That was amazing.
There was one line he said that made me laugh. He's like, I was wondering which one of you had the balls. And I was like, funny.
It was fun.
That made me laugh. But yeah, that whole scene was just amazing. Like the way Murray Gold composed the music for that was just like so tense.
And the flashes back to the first Doctor and the Toymaker and like, it was
colorized as well.
Yeah,
it was insane.
So cool.
It was really, really cool. I appreciated that.
And Murray Gold's score for that scene was just unreal.
Yeah, it was just so good. And like when David Tennant was like, get back to the TARDIS, I don't know if it was a reference to William Hartnell, because he tells his companions to go back to the TARDIS as well. So I don't know if that's a link, but it was still cool. It just makes the Toymaker seem like so dangerous.
And then obviously them going through the hallways and stuff and like all the rooms and the fucking puppets attacking Donna. The 10th Doctor puppet?
Yeah.
Or like the 14th Doctor puppet? Holy shit.
To me, I thought that was creepier than anything that had happened in Wild Blue Yonder.
No, I agree. I was like, damn, they upped the creepiness.
Yeah, they did. I wish there was more of it.
Did you see the behind the scenes of them making the 14th, the David Tennant puppet?
Yeah.
That was so cool.
It was so cool. And then David Tennant was like, this was actually kind of weird for me to like act around.
Yeah.
Like, I bet.
It was very cool though.
Yeah. Oh. No, the Toymaker is amazing. Like, he was just so like, he had just so much energy and add like so much charisma to the role.
Yeah.
I heard like some people say it's like it's not the same as like the original Toymaker. The original one had like this like a lot of gravitas and was a lot more serious.
He had a sense of menace, whereas this one had a sense of like, I literally can control reality, so I don't fucking care.
Yeah, it's just chaotic.
And like, I like that though. Yeah. I hit the aircon unit.
Dude, come on, man. It's not gonna work, man. Dude,
I'm so sorry.
Stop.
But yeah, like obviously, like Michael Gough, who played him originally, who was Alfred in all 4 of the 80s and 90s Batman movies, which is fucking hysterical to me.
That's wild. Yeah,
they changed actors 3 times for Batman, but fucking Michael Gough stuck with it as Alfred. The pay must have been good. Maybe he just really likes Alfred. I don't know. But like him as the original Toymaker, he does have like this threat and menace and gravitas. Whereas like, and I felt that in a lot of Neil, like when they were sitting down doing cards. Yeah, I was like, oh man,
that's
like,
when he put on that British accent and
when he was talking like Michael Gough did, I was like, damn, okay, but that's immediately following the best worst thing to ever happen in the show, the puppet show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is Amy Pond. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
No, that was great.
And he's like, she got touched by a weeping angel, and she died. He's like, she died of old age. Well, that's all right then. Like,
the memes that have come out of that is memes fantastic. Of that,
yeah. And oh my god, and then fucking Clara, I was like, yeah, good riddance. She got killed by a bird.
She still lives in the last second of her life. Well, that's all right then.
But then they pulled out the Bill puppet, and I was like, don't you dare.
Don't do that to me.
Don't you dare.
Yeah. what was that? He got killed by Cyberman. What does he say?
Consciousness still survives or something.
Well, that's all right then.
God,
that was
damn.
perfect.
When they pulled out Bill, he's like, "This is Bill, not Stooky Bill," and I was like, "That's funny as fuck, dude."
It was so good.
Like,
it was so good.
Stooky Bill was a great idea.
I loved it
because that's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's a real ass thing that happened.
I want to say real quick, the opening to that episode felt like a very traditional, like Doctor Who opening.
Yeah,
and I loved it to bits.
Yeah,
it's like that
felt
laugh,
insane.
And it's just like,
yeah.
I loved it. Just like the idea of using something. Well, Stooky Bill was the original, like.
Yeah, he was the first thing that was broadcast on television. Yeah,
that's cool.
By
nice little use of history there.
Insane how good it was. And I remember watching Russell talking about it. He's like, he did a lot of research into it for another project he was making many years ago. And he's like, as soon as I saw Stooky Bill, I went, "That's a Doctor Who villain."
It is.
And I'm like, yeah,
it looks creepy.
It's terrifying.
Yeah,
it's like the fucking Saw puppet.
Yeah.
It's Billy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Literally. Yeah, no.
It was an excellent setup. And an excellent execution.
Yeah.
To be honest. Like, it was all good.
Or like the human race, like, going crazy because everyone thinks they're right, sort of thing. Yeah.
There were some lines in this episode, like, especially from David Tennant, where I was like, it's a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
When he's like, "You all hate each other, don't need any help with that." And I'm like, all right, dude. Like,
all right.
Give us a break for a second.
You shouldn't truth bullets, but like...
Yeah, like, I agree with everything he said, but like, also then he made comments about like, always on your phones, always on screens, and I'm like, okay, boomer.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's billions of years old, so...
Yeah, well, and isn't like the toy makers, like, they're all like doing these streams these days, or watching stuff and playing games and all that.
When and I was like, oh, that's so cringy, dude. Like, I was waiting for him to start playing Fortnite, and
I was expecting him to say when you watch Thirsty Pretzel production Let's Plays, and like...
I fucking emailed Russell about that. I was like, hey, dude, like...
Did he respond?
No.
Oh. Come on, man.
He just sent me back a fucking image of a puppet. It was really creepy.
Just an image of Stooky Bill.
Sorry. But like...
And he just started giggling. I love that. It just sounds so creepy.
Oh my god, when Mel was like, "It looks like music notes," then she did it, and everyone in the room went... Yeah, and I was like, whoa,
dude.
It was creepy as hell.
It was really... The only thing I wish I saw more of the human race, like, kind of...
Yeah, there was like that opening scene, and the fucking toy maker being like, "Dance with me, Doctor," and them dancing, and Doctor's like, "No, thanks.
No, I'm good."
And he walks away, and I'm like, you're not gonna talk to that man who's like just going, like, waving at you from across the way.
You don't think that's a bit
in a full tux and makeup and top hat? He's not the guy you're talking to in that situation. Like,
you're just talking to this random old, like, bald British dude.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were in it.
I was in it, dude. Yeah, I shaved my head for that part, actually. Yeah,
you're really good.
The amount of sweat that's on the top of my head still, though.
I don't want to know.
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to know.
It, it was an excellent episode. Mel, I was really happy that they brought Mel back.
Yeah. And wasn't she, like, a tech person? So, like, it kind of makes sense that she was doing
She was a computer person, but she never, ever touched a computer in her entire run.
Yeah, I think like the actor actually said that.
Yeah, she never touched a piece of technology, even though she was meant to be like a software engineer or a computer. Like, it's so funny to me.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that she's a good fit for UNIT.
Yeah.
And like they'd already brought back like Sophie Aldred and like who was Ace.
Yeah.
They brought back Ace. They brought back Joe. They brought back a couple of other people, but like Mel to me is like yes, she fits here.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Everyone else makes sense, but Mel to me is like yes, she makes complete sense. And I'm really, really stoked that she is coming back for Series 14 or for Series 1.
Because there's that scene of them on the moped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, and then also like you see like the UNIT headquarters again because you see Rose and Shooty hugging. Like, like I'm excited as hell for more UNIT stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I do want to talk real quick. It's good to see Kate back.
Yeah, great to see
was great in this role.
She had my favorite line of the whole episode.
Yeah, so she takes off the inhibitor thing, whatever it is, that stops him going crazy. So she starts getting angry and stuff, and then starts getting mad at Shirley. And she's like, "I've seen you walk."
It was so out of pocket. I was like, "Whoa!"
What's she like? She's like, "Don't be." Like, she's like, "Stop pretending." I've seen you walk. Something like that. And like that was funny.
Which like also that did jar me a little bit though when I saw Shirley, like the actress Ruth, like get out of her wheelchair. I was like, "Whoa, what?" because like I didn't.
She's just standing. Yeah.
I didn't know that she's using it for support. Obviously, I didn't know it was like not a full like she needs it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Which is like, but again, I think that's why they did that though with Kate. That line to be like, you're because I feel like a lot of people with disabilities or like impairments get that a lot, you know, like, so
I imagine
it was very cool to see that factored in, even if it was a very out of pocket line.
Very like meant to be like a comedic thing, I guess, more than anything.
No, it like genuinely made me go, oh my god, like I was like, Kate, you can't fucking say that.
You can't say that.
I was like, holy shit, dude.
At least like she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and Shirley's like, it's fine, don't worry about it.
And jumping back as well to like how fucking good Shirley is. Jumping back to the Starbeast for a second, when they're going up to the ship and she's rolling up, and like the stairs and the guy's like, and she's like, don't make me the problem, just go. She's like, fucking do your job, like go. And I was like, excellent.
It's a great way.
It wasn't a whole thing. It was her being like, don't make me the problem, just go.
Yeah, it's a good way of like not. I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but like not victimizing. Is that a way to put it? I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But it's and it's excellent to see that. It's excellent to see that like they didn't make a whole big deal, and he wasn't like, oh my god, there are stairs. What are you going to do? Like, it wasn't a whole thing. He just gave her a look, and she knew what was up because she's obviously heard it before.
Yeah.
Also, great way of having her not be taken over by the mind control.
Yeah, great. I like that. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, Shirley was great. I really hope she's in more. Do you know how she got the part in the specials?
I don't know.
So I was watching an interview with her about the end of this special with the wheelchair ramp on the TARDIS. Yeah. And like her talking about that, and it was very emotional.
Very touching.
It was a wonderful like behind the scenes of her talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say her last name. It's like Ruth. I want to say like Milady or Malady. I actually
like
don't know what her last name is. I'm so sorry.
Put it here.
Yeah, she's excellent though, and apparently she like texted Russell or like messaged him on Instagram or something when she found out he was coming back to Doctor Who and was like, "Hey, congrats! Like that's really cool."
Yeah,
and then like she's like, "Yeah," and he got back to me like a couple days later, and he's like, "I've written you in. Are you free?" Like,
that's amazing.
Like just like fully wrote her in like after she messaged him to say like congrats.
Yeah,
I was like, cool.
That's awesome.
Like it's fucking great.
Maybe if you message Russell,
maybe
Thirsty Boys can get into a Doctor Who episode. Shooty Gutwa comes to Brisbane.
Shooty Gutwa. Is that the name of the episode? Written by James and Tyler. Shooty Gutwa comes to Brisbane. What the fuck?
The adventure is just like on South Bank. And they make a Ninth Doctor reference with the wheel.
No, we fucking go to like Logan Lee train station. And he like gets, well, I mean, the fucking 7th Doctor regenerated because he got fucking capped on the streets of New York. He steps out of the TARDIS and he's like, New York City. Like he gets shot.
Just like visits away coal prisons.
Dude, this is gold. We need to write this.
This is gold, Jerry.
Gonna make $1 million, Jerry. But yeah, it's where were we talking about?
I don't know.
Shirley was great.
Shirley was great.
Yeah, and like I was really happy to see like Kate back, obviously. And again,
that new alien thing.
Yeah,
I don't know what that was, but cool.
But how good that it was just there, and they went, yes, this is. I forgot its name.
Yeah,
they're like, this is him, and he went, hello, and the Doctor went, hi,
I'm the Doctor,
and that was it. They didn't go into a long fucking backstory, but you see it at the unit headquarters, and you're like, yep.
It just like fits in for this weird reason.
Yeah, into the fucking Avengers Tower that they have going on. I love that.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah, in that headquarters too, like having it all like wheelchair accessible. So yeah, I love that. I love the design of it a lot.
I like the reference when he was coming in on the helicopter and it was carrying the TARDIS. Yeah,
reminded me of I was like waiting for Smith to be hanging off the bottom of the TARDIS.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he actually did that stuff.
Yeah, he did. Isn't that awesome?
I was like, what?
How did they do that?
But yeah, and then obviously my favorite thing to happen in the unit headquarters, the Spice Up Your Life sequence. Holy shit, dude.
It was so good.
Neil Patrick Harris is a treasure.
Yeah, he is. I knew there had to be like a musical number or something with him. You don't include him into Doctor Who and not have something.
It was so
cool like that.
So camp and so goofy.
It was so good.
And I fucking loved every second of it.
I loved it so much. It just didn't seem out of place for some weird reason.
No, it didn't.
It was amazing.
And that prepped me perfectly for the Christmas special, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just like that there's this one moment where the soldiers are next to him and he's just like, does
And
that.
he, like, taps
it turns
them.
into balloons
Yeah.
and then like a balloon
Fucking
like
Shirley
throws-
catches it and it's like, oh!
That made me laugh. I was just like,
It gave
this
me a
is-
good giggle.
Yeah. All right, this is the end of.
Gave me a good giggle, dude.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and like him dancing with Kate and fucking
just-
spinning her into a wall.
Yeah.
Spinning Mel down the hallway. Like,
It was so good.
them shooting and Kate's like, open fire. And the doctor's like, don't. It's all fucking rose petals.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just like a really well choreographed scene
It
as
was,
well.
yeah.
And just like all the dancing he's doing. It was very John Sim in the end of season 3 finale.
Yeah, sound of
but
the drums. Like,
I think I liked it more.
yeah, I think I did too.
It says, I think, a lot more to the toy maker's character.
This
than
one
anything
felt
else.
more earned.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and John Sim's moment was still
It's still
excellent.
amazing. It's
But
iconic.
like, this one felt really like, yeah, this makes
Yeah,
sense.
this
Based
guy.
on how we've seen the toy maker so far in this episode.
Yeah.
Based on who they cast as the toy maker.
Yeah.
Based on who's show running it.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I was very pleased with
It
that
was-
sequence.
It was so good.
I've had that song stuck in my head. Like,
I kind of
fucking
I want
ages.
to add it to my playlist.
It's a great song.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
It's catchy.
It's very catchy.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah. I think just this scene alone is probably why I like the giggle more.
Actually, no, I think I would agree with
Yeah.
that. Also, going back to like what we said about them playing cards together, just all of the dialogue there.
it was
And
so good.
Also, how fucking offended they looked when Donna's like, yeah, he's going to cheat. And they both looked at her and went,
Yeah, like,
no, he's not. And he's like, I would never. Like, and I was like, I believe that. Like,
It's interesting though because in William Hartnell's episode with the toy maker makes the games, but like they're kind of stacked in his favor.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a little weird. It's sort of a change of character from that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think I liked it more.
I really liked how offended they both got. They were like, no.
He wouldn't do that.
They were like, no way. He's like, the doctor's like, he's not going to cheat. And the
Yeah.
toy maker's like, it's true, I'm not. I'm like,
It's just really cool that they gave the toy maker a set of principles that he will absolutely stick to and
Yeah.
is very consistent.
And
with.
then he won, and he's like, I win, Doctor. And he's like, 1-1 then. And he's like,
It's like it's like
he's like, oh,
one
fuck.
inviolable rule.
Yeah.
That scene was so good.
Yeah.
That to me felt the most like the Doctor. It was
Yeah.
weird.
That scene when they were sitting down and he was
Yeah.
like fucking with the cards and like, yeah. I
Yeah.
saw so many people being like, when he flipped over the king,
Hmm.
so many people online were like, kind of looks like Matt Smith. The king kind of looks like Matt Smith.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
y'all need to stop.
Matt Smith doesn't even want to come back and do audio shit. Why
Yeah.
would he come back on the show?
Yeah.
You know, he's busy. He's actually been quite successessul since Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Leave the man alone.
He was in Morbius.
If he's fucking Morbius, he should have been Morbius. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's a whole other episode. We're not doing a Morbius
No.
episode.
Well, are we?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's pretzel time. Can I be our new slogan? It's pretzel
Yeah, it's
time.
pretzel time. Yeah.
It's pretzel time.
It's
I
pretzel
hate that.
time. Yeah.
But yeah, I really think people need to just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know?
They're not coming back.
Like, and
Russell
see-
doesn't like multi-doctor stories.
Yeah, and also, Matt Smith was pretty mid. Mid Smith.
Smid.
Smitty.
Smitty? Schmitty?
Schmitty.
Oh my god.
New girl. So,
Yeah. Okay.
one other thing I do want to say about the card game is, obviously he's talking about, like, you know, I've played games with all these people, and he's like, I play games with everyone except the one who waits. And the doctor's like, who's that? And he's like, that's someone else's story. And I was like, ooh.
Let's say that's someone else's game. Or
Someone else's
something.
game or
Yeah.
whatever. And I went, holy shit, okay. And then and he's like, yeah, I played a game with the master. He lost. I imprisoned him in my gold tooth.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Ding. You're like,
did
oh.
you watch Power of the Doctor?
Unfortunately.
I didn't
Yes.
hate it.
I hated it.
I mean, it wasn't good, but I didn't hate it.
I
like-
sent you like a 7-minute
You did
voice
actually,
message
you did.
rant about how much I hated that
You
episode.
did. I'm intrigued to know, because obviously where we left off with the master there, it was pretty like, he was fucked.
Yeah.
You know? So I wonder if that's when the toy maker...
I'm assuming that's what
I'm
happened.
assuming
Yeah.
so. So it makes me wonder, like, is he going to come out of the tooth as Sacha Darwin and then get fucking shot and then regenerate? Like, are they going
I
to...
kind of hope he comes back as such a Darwin. I think he needs more master
He was
time.
a great master.
Yeah.
But, like, also, I really desperately want when they do bring back the Master, obviously, because you see the gold tooth getting picked up at the end, just like with Sim.
Yeah.
I really liked that callback.
I like that, yeah.
Also, I'm putting it out there. Kate was the only person in the episode with red nail polish on. I looked back at everyone's hands.
It's definitely Kate, yeah.
But also, Kate was not on the platform at all when any of that was happening. So, like, but then also, Doctor Who, you know?
Yeah, who knows?
Kate was my guess because she's the only one with her. Everyone's like, it's the Duchess from the new season. And like, no, she definitely...
the Jinx Monsoon's character?
No, the Duchess played by... You watched Game of Thrones, right? No, don't worry then. No. I only know her from Game of Thrones, the actor, whose name I can't remember. Yeah. But she has much darker skin than what that hand had. Yeah. By the looks of it, I don't know. But either way, I think it's Kate.
Yeah.
Which would be a really cool arc if she became the Master.
If Kate becomes the Master.
I think that'd be really interesting.
She's been through a lot of shit.
She's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if the soul of the Master, like, inhabited her, but, like, I feel like she'd give into it, you know? I could see that being an interesting twist.
She was thrown out of a fucking airplane.
Yeah. I think that would be a cool twist, putting that out there.
Or it just has some, like, role in reviving
the Master. Yes, I agree. She's going to be involved somehow. Yeah. I really hope that when they bring back the Master, that the Master is more of a Roger Delgado, Moriarty, menacing, not like... The last couple of Masters we've had, John Sim was pretty goofy.
Yeah. He was great.
He was serious, but then he was goofy, and then he was serious again. Yeah. Missy was... just excellent, but she was super goofy as well. Yeah. And Sacha Darwin was just fucking crazy.
Crazy.
He was fucking nuts. So, like, I really want, like, a really measured... Like, my favorite thing... The reason the Third Doctor stands out to me, and the reason Roger Delgado stands out to me as the Master, is because they like, sit down and, like, talk, and the Master's like, we could kill everyone and travel together, and the Doctor goes, true, but I'm not going to do that. Like, they, like, sit down and have talks, and they, like... They are like, well, I guess we just disagree on that. Time to die. Like, you know, it's like chill.
You want someone more like cold and calculating and composed.
I want someone who's actually going to pose a threat. I didn't feel threatened by Sacha Darwin's Master. I felt like scared of him, but I didn't feel threatened by him.
No, you know? Just felt like this crazy. That's a crazy dude. That's
a whole side tangent. But like, I really hope that obviously they teased the Master. The Toy Maker also then being like, my legions are coming.
Yeah, that's going to be insane.
And the Meep saying, you know, the boss will want to know about another creature with two hearts. Like, there's a whole lot being teased.
Well, the RTD said, like, there's more godlike villains coming.
Good.
Which is good.
Which makes sense for the Doctor.
Yeah.
And also the fact that, like, the first season, at the very least, is not going to have any returning villains. So we're not going to know about the Master until probably season 15 or season 2. Like, so...
I hope the Toymaker comes back.
I hope so as well.
He went out quicker than I thought he would.
He did go out quick, and I saw a lot of people being like, it's like two sides of the argument of like, bro fucking lost a game of catch, really? Yeah. But then the other side is, I would have lost that game. And I'm like, I'm on that camp, to be honest.
I saw something like it should have just been a little bit more tense, like some reason. Like
that was pretty tense.
It was pretty tense, but like... They were saying, like, this, like, some reason, like, the 14th Doctor, like, stops playing the game or something, so it's just between Shooty and the Toymaker or something. It's, like, a bit more...
I did think maybe that, like, the 14 would, like, get out, and then it would just be the two of them. Yeah. Like, Shooty and the Toymaker. Yeah. Like, as his first moment to shine.
Yeah. But I think that would have been cool. But...
I think it would have been cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about it. By generation.
By generation...
I mean, in a sense,
But also, that was me waving for the people
for the audio people.
But also, every time I hear the words bi generation, I think like Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z, like the bi generation. Yeah. Like, everyone's just bi.
Yeah, everyone's bi now.
But that's so funny to me. Like, I really like it.
You like
I remember reading in the lead up to this episode, like spoilers or rumors or leaks or whatever, that is what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. Like, I was concerned because I was like, I feel like that's, you know, you're then making Shooty exist at the same time as like the most popular modern Doctor. Yeah. If not the most popular Doctor to ever exist. Yeah. Like, you're making them exist at the same time. And I'm like, I feel like it's just going to take away from Shooty.
I think it still does a little bit because
it does a bit.
The 14th Doctor is still there. He's still hanging out. Yeah. He's still got the TARDIS. But I remember I sent you like a video of something of like, the 14th Doctor's going to go through this rehab, but once he's done, he'll go back to that moment when he becomes the 15th
And then
Doctor, and
exactly.
he'll just keep going, which is a theory I hope they kind of go with.
Yeah.
But it just leaves that possibility that the 14th Doctor could always come back
Which is
very easily.
But now they have the Marvel Avengers problem of like, you know, a spaceship crashes into London. Yeah. Why would Ncuti have to go and deal with that when 14 already exists there with his own TARDIS? You know what I mean?
So he's retired now.
He's what?
Retired.
Oh, retired.
What do you think? What do you think I said?
A different word. A less good word.
Yeah.
That's my favorite joke in Borat. Oh, you haven't fucking seen Borat? We're watching Borat.
Okay.
We're doing a podcast episode about Borat this year.
Okay, we'll do it.
Holy shit, dude, it's a masterpiece.
Holy crap, Lois.
It's the year of Borat and holy crap, Lois. I'm bringing back the Borat impression this year. Very nice.
My wife. Oh, God, no.
No, we're not doing that.
My wife, Doctor.
Why?
You started it.
I love Borat.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Fuck my life.
Anyway.
I really like The Bad Generation, and like I said, I was worried it would take away, and I do agree it does to an extent.
Yeah.
But also, Ncuti just like owns
that scene.
Like straight away. I was like,
I felt like
shit.
I felt like he was the Doctor as soon as he came.
A lesser actor, it would have been overshadowed by David Tennant.
Yeah.
But Ncuti overshadowed 14.
Yeah. I agree.
And that final moment, like after they defeat the Toymaker, that moment when he like hugs Tennant and like kisses him on the head and he's like, it's all right. I was just like,
oh man,
holy shit. I was like, this guy's the Doctor.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
Well, it's just the moment for me is when he started laughing and he was like talking about By Generation. It's like, it's supposed to be a myth. And then he's like, goes up to Mel. It's like, myth. I don't know. It just felt... He just oozed so much charisma and energy in that scene alone. I was like, I'm so excited.
And then Donna had the most out of pocket line when she says, "Do you come in a range of colors?"
And they're both like, "Yes."
Donna, what does that mean?
You know what it means.
Yeah, but why would she say it? Oh God!
No, that was funny.
It was so funny. No, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Mel being like, "Oh, like." Yeah, what'd she say? Like, you're attractive. And he's like, David Tennant's like, was or am? Like, he's like,
still am. Yeah.
Still am, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Or you are gorgeous or something. And he's like,
I just love the fact that at no point did someone bring up the fact that Ncuti wasn't wearing pants.
I was literally waiting for someone to say that, but he was like literally in his underwear for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Like the whole rest of it.
Yeah.
And no one said a word.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, this man just fucking defeated the fucking Toymaker. We can't mess with him. We can't tell him he doesn't have pants on.
Yeah.
That means David Tennant didn't have underwear on, and that's canon.
I mean, he looks good in his undies, so.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like behind the scenes, like Tennant got to choose what clothing he kept?
Yeah. And Ncuti Gatwa said something like, David Tennant's the reason I wasn't wearing pants.
Yeah.
And then Georgia Tennant retweeted it and she was like, yeah, I get that a lot. Or like something like that. Like,
I think everyone gets that a lot.
And I was like, that's fucking hysterical.
That's funny. It was so good. It was great. And just like the rest of the episode, like when Ncuti's in the TARDIS and then he hits the TARDIS with the hammer, makes a new one. Like,
so goofy, but I love that so much.
Yeah. Just the scenes with Ncuti and Tennant in the TARDIS when they're talking about it's like Sarah Jane and Adric. They mentioned Adric.
But yeah.
It was that was just a really.
But that
nice
was like,
scene.
I mean, he's fucking right though when he's like, you haven't stopped in a long time, and I'm like, he fucking hasn't.
No, it's been non-stop.
Even just from the Time War onwards, like holy shit, dude.
Yeah, like holy crap, Lois.
My favorite part was when they said, "Holy crap, Doctor." I was like, damn, he's right though.
Yeah.
And I'm very here for this like emotionally vulnerable Doctor.
I really like it. Yeah.
Like there's a moment in the Christmas special that we'll obviously talk about where like he starts crying and I was like, good. Like fucking good. He should be affected by things.
Yeah.
I don't think Tennant ever cried. Except when Rose got fucking sucked off into the other place, like
sucked off.
Like,
what a way to put it.
I think the only time he fucking shed a single tear, he did like a single tear when he was like, and Rose Tyler, and he got sucked away, flushed away, dude.
He's pretty upset when his daughter dies.
I don't think he cries though.
No, he just gets angry. Yeah,
he just gets angry a lot.
Yeah,
he gets angry a lot. Eccleston cries.
He cries in the end of time.
He does actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't talk to me about those scenes.
Yeah, Eccleston cries.
Does he?
I'm fairly sure he does. Doesn't he cry in...
Oh, no, it's in, End of the World. There's, like, one single tear when he's talking to Jabe.
Yeah,
the tree woman, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Daddy likes.
Yeah, when he's like... Nice, that's a reference.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
when he's doing the thing and she's, like, apologizing for, you're the last one and there's a single tear. Like, excellent. The Doctor should cry.
Yeah.
Smith only cried one time, and he cried when the Ponds let him in for Christmas. They were like, come on, there's a place set. And then he's like, oh, it's here. He's too fucking goofy for his own
No, he
good.
doesn't do that. He's just like... and he smiles and walks. No, he's crying when Amy's touched by the angel.
He doesn't.
He's pretty upset about it.
He doesn't fucking cry, though.
He's not happy about it.
He's not crying, though.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah,
he's kind of crying in that speech in The Rings of Akhaten.
Yeah, he's just angry, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm here for this, like, emotionally vulnerable Doctor. Like, I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And Ncuti is fucking amazing at it. Like, and again, we'll talk more about him when we talk about Church on Ruby Road.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, he owns this, like, the ending of this. And, like, when he's like, I love you, get out.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just... And the little salute, perfect.
Yeah, it was
perfect.
Just such a great ending. And then that last scene when David Tennant's having lunch with the Noble family.
Oh,
you're like, oh man.
And he's
very
like,
touching.
It's like talking about like he's like traveling, and Rose is like, yeah, well, we weren't here the other day, and he's like, shut up. Like, I think that's really fun. I really like that dynamic. And you know what? I hope, and I know Russell said we're not going to see him for it. Like, there are no plans to bring him back at the moment.
Yeah.
I really hope we don't.
Yeah.
I
don't need him.
I really hope we don't see him again.
I've had my fill of Tennant.
Exactly.
I don't even think I really needed him in these specials, to be honest.
Well, I think for me, a lot of people were complaining about the specials not feeling like an event. But to me, the event was Tennant and Tate coming back.
It was, yeah.
And a lot of people missed that. They were like, but where's my multi-Doctor story?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know that's like a tradition, but like Tennant coming back, having an episode with himself, and then also having the Biogen, I'm like, that's the event.
That's it.
You know, like that's it. It's like a mini season. And I love that. Like, I'd take a mini... If every anniversary they just want to do, like, a mini season with, like, an old Doctor...
I like that.
Great.
Yeah.
65th anniversary, let's bring back, like, Capaldi for another little season, a little mini series. Like, let's bring back fucking... Where's the 8th Doctor's season? Where is the 8th Doctor's season?
A spin-off, baby.
Where is it, Russell?
It's coming. It's coming.
Give Paul McGann his own damn show. He's been the Doctor longer than anyone else. He's made more content as the Doctor than anyone else.
Yeah.
Give him a season.
He needs it. He's not getting any younger.
I mean, he's like in his 60s now.
He looks good.
He looks fucking good for a man in his 60s.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, give him his own series.
He needs it. He desperately needs it.
He's so good. Even just from, like, the Night of the Doctor mini-sode.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
So good.
Anyway.
Yeah. There was that moment where the toy maker's like, I played with a previous version of the Doctor. I played with you. I want to play with the next Doctor now. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, fucking just shoots
him right through the heart. You're like,
I was like, oh my god, finally a villain did it.
Yeah.
He's not just here to fuck spiders anymore. He's like, no, I'm here to kill the Doctor. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was a great episode. It was a great ending.
Yeah.
I loved it. Do you wish the Giggle was a two-parter?
I do.
Yeah.
I wish it was like I wish it was the end of time. I wish we had Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder, and then a two-part Giggle.
Yeah.
And they could have aired it on two consecutive nights.
Yeah.
But, like, I wish it was two parts.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see more of the Toymaker.
Me too.
I wanted to see more of his destruction. I wanted to see more of the human race. Like, yeah.
I wanted to see more of that. Or even just like the Toymaker being more involved in the previous two episodes.
Yes.
Because I thought he was the reason the Doctor regenerated back into the 10th Doctor.
Yeah, I was expecting that as well.
I wish it still was.
I was expecting that, but obviously it didn't happen that way. But
No.
yeah, I was fully going in expecting that to be the reason.
Yeah.
And I get they did explain why, but I'm sort of like, I wish it was the Toymaker in a way.
Cool.
Fun fact as well, the 200th episode of Doctor Who, and by episode I mean story, because obviously classic episodes, the Daleks, it's 7 parts, but it's one story. It's the second story. The 200th story of Doctor Who was Planet of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
201 was The Waters of Mars, and 202 A and B were Tennant's regeneration. Tennant then came back in episode 301, which was the Star Beast.
Oh, okay.
Power of the Doctor was episode 300.
Oh, there you go.
Star Beast is 301, 302 is Wild Blue Yonder, and then he regenerates in 303. 101 episodes after his last regeneration.
That's cool.
And he came back, like, I think Day of the Doctor was like 248 or something.
Yeah.
Like, he's like come back every 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Like,
he'll be in the next 350.
Yeah. Also, I've got a lot of gripes about the way that they number those episodes, but anyway, that's a whole...
That's for another episode.
Yeah. 60th specials overall, I feel like for you would rate them 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Giggle, Wild Blue Yonder, Star Beast.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would do the same, but interchangeably Giggle and Wild Blue Yonder, depending on how I feel, because throughout this whole podcast, I've been shifting around on how I feel about them both.
Yeah.
But I think Star Beast is the weakest, but
still good.
It did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
It brought back Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And to me, that is it's perfect.
That's all it needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like the specials overall. I'm glad we got David Tennant and Catherine Tate.
Yeah, yeah.
I personally didn't need it. Like, I've had my fill with David Tennant. I didn't need more of him. I kind of would have been actually interested to see how Ncuti Gatwa would have gone with Catherine Tate. But it was still good. It's still good just to see those two and the energy they both have and the way that, you know, they act together. It's just so good.
See, I only started watching Doctor Who in season 7. So I was watching Smith in his final half of his season as it was coming out. And Capaldi was my first Doctor I started watching from day dot and onwards. I missed Tennant on television. Yeah. So it was really cool to see him back for that reason for me personally. Yeah. Like, to be like, okay, I get to watch him on TV live with everyone now, as opposed to like, I feel like everyone loved him so much when his episodes were airing, and I feel like I missed the hype train on that.
Well, it's because it was their childhood.
Exactly.
You know, that's why he's just so loved, because everyone grew up watching him.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
But yeah, it's hell of a series of specials, and leading into the Christmas special, Ncuti's the first Christmas special since 2017.
Don't love that.
No Christmas specials for Whittaker. The last special was Capaldi's Regeneration, Twice Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Great episode, by the way.
Good episode.
Yeah, fucking great episode.
I enjoyed it.
After the best season of the show. And then the dark years. And now we're back. And now we're back with Christmas specials again.
Yeah.
Which I'm so fucking excited to talk about. That'll be next week's episode.
Yeah. That's it. I don't think we have anything more to say.
No.
Yeah.
Doctor Who is back. Thirsty Pretzel is back.
Yeah, it has the same amount of gravitas, I think.
Yeah, it was meant to be. The same amount of mavitas. We didn't talk about Mavity.
No, we did. We
didn't talk about the Isaac Newton scene.
Oh. I mean, it's whatever. It was kind of...
It's fun.
It was fun, but I was expecting more to come out of it.
Same.
But it was sort of a throwaway one.
We'll talk about that in the Christmas special episode. Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone. We've got a big year ahead, so make sure you're following us on Instagram. We also now have a Facebook page, which we'll be posting on. So if you're a boomer and you only use Facebook, or you prefer to use Facebook, that is available now. It's just Thirsty Pretzel Productions. Look it up. Same little cute little boy as the little logo. Not us. Not us. Although us.
We're on the podcast artwork, but
yeah. Check it out on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. And make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Awesome.
What are you, Ron Swanson?
I am. Yes.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and tune in for the next one. It's going to be a doozy.
Happy 2024, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.